Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, shifting confusion into spiritual clarity. When our mind and our body become disconnected, do you know what I mean? You know, when your mind is going in one direction and then you feel lost and your body and your mind can't quite catch up with one another. Have you ever felt that? And there's a feeling like all you can do is ignore it or stop and reconnect, recalibrate. Over the many decades of working with people who really want to be in that clarity, and I'm sure that you love clarity, and that's why we're here together. I've been on the pursuit of clarity for a super long time and found that place within myself to be able to come into and grow into deeper clarity from, and have seen that happen with the clients that I work with. What brings you into deeper clarity? I know there's people that I really love who use coffee in the morning. They say they can't think straight without it. That's usually like a health thing with your gallbladder, just so you know. It really helps open up the channels so that we'll call it the blood flowing freely and your energy opening. There are others who can't tolerate coffee in the morning and have discovered the wonders of mushrooms, powdered mushrooms such as reishi and lion's mane, and have realized that it's the earth itself that is helping them feel clearer. So whatever your channel is in your daily habits to open up the circuitry in yourself to experience greater clarity, just always check in and see if that's still working. So what's clarity? What happens? Well, the brain needs to have its wiring, its the circuits, the wiring of your circuitry be able to flow freely. So what are some of the ways that block clarity and get in the way of clarity? Well, let's start with your energy system and just take a moment and breathe blue light into your body. We're working directly with the energy. And when you bring blue light in, it's a soother. It helps the inflammation state of emotions and the inflammation state of how your mind can be overactive. It's why the blue sky is just so wonderful to gaze at, especially on a day when you need to de-stress. So to come into your energy system means to bring your mind into that place in your body. We're going to slide down from your head, down a water slide, and land in your solar plexus, right under your rib cage in the center. And look for the light there. Look for the brilliant white light. And let the blue light flow in from above your head, through your top of your head, in through your chest, into your solar plexus, and then into your pubic bone tailbone, space between your pubic bone and tailbone, to clear the channels. We get all filled in static of excessive anxiety and stress, reactivity, fear. We get, pumped up with adrenaline. We get pumped up with sorrow these days and, deep grief. And we have a hard time keeping the channels open because there's so much information coming in. So this time together is an invitation to drop in and to open up those gateways inside of yourself so that you can make the deeper connection into this source within you where all of your abundance comes from, all of your health, your vitality, yes, your clarity comes from there. So as you come down the water slide into your solar plexus, let's make a bravo reception to receiving your higher consciousness flowing down into your body. It's really miraculous how we can consciously connect. You have the ability, even though we're not taught it from kids, so, we don't know we have it. Have you ever met a young person, like ages 5 to 10, who was taught how to connect into their body through their light? They're amazing. They say what they feel. They honor other people. They love what they're learning. And if they don't, they speak up and they learn to express what they need. Many of you have not had that. And it's just also part of a generational shift that began happening quite a few years ago, but not enough yet to make a full dent in our system, our paradigm that we're living in, but it will. Your energy clarity happens when the emotional body, the emotional energies become purified, meaning cleared from the light that you are. And to fully succeed with that, it requires being aware of the old patterns that are repetitive inside of your mind. When you pay attention to ending how you're reacting in the moment and choosing instead to interact with you and to blend your mind into the light that's here in your solar plexus, you realize that you always have a connection with the infinite source within inside of yourself. And your life doesn't have to feel as blocked up. And you can begin to feel that the sorrows that come up, the griefs that come up, the confusions that come up from not being able to make the changes that you want in your life, in the world around you, the feelings of sometimes helplessness, the feelings that you're not enough. We're focusing on transforming, meaning the alchemy of coming from one place inside of yourself to another place, that higher zone that is inside of you. A lot of what's happening in our world culture is to keep us distracted from the external pain and the challenges that so many people are going through, and yet those inner gateways of love and compassion are happening. So coming through the closed doors within you, the passageways that are blocked up, whether it's from toxic food, over emotionality, fears, and having to dive into control and fear in order to moderate your own confusion. The confusion stems all the way back to not being able to fully feel in your own whole self, your body, which has all these organs of intelligence. The blood through you is intelligent. The way your heart moves that blood has intelligence. And when your mind is receptive to your body, it means that you're listening. And through listening to the language of your own body and assessing what is keeping you a victim, what is keeping you in control, what is keeping you in a lower state where you're always needing something more, to feel comfort, to feel comfortable as you choose to awaken out of the slumber of how you actually are keeping yourself confused, possibly basing your own opinions, thoughts upon what others say, and coming from the place of undealt with fears. Clarity and fears are friends. You can track back fear pretty easily when you go back into your origins in yourself, through your blood, through your bones, through how you breathe. When there's trauma in the home growing up, there's trauma in your breathing. To correct the breathing, the fastest way to do it is through the energy. Because you can still breathe and push it. But when you breathe and you open to receive the light within the energy, you are opening up the portals to the source within you. When you're connected into source, the confusion goes away. When you bring light up from the core of the earth, like you pull up blue light, white light, those flames of pure white fire, which I love so much, and I pass that love to you. You're connecting into the source of the earth. The earth is not confused. The way we treat the earth is what creates chaos in the environment, in weather patterns, and the list goes on. How we use energy is part of what's confusing. It's what confuses you. When you don't know how to use your energy, you can get confused. When the energies outside and around you become more than what you know what to do with, it can be confusing. So what do? You come down into your solar plexus. You enter that gateway. You open up into the gold light that's there because it is the sun. It's solar. And when you connect into the sun within you, it begins a new circuitry of clarity. And that clarity can take you far. That clarity of gold light in your solar plexus can blend into your lower belly. It's like putting a dye, a color, into water. It spreads. Light moves. Light moves to where it's dark. So in the lower belly and in the root center, that space between your pubic bone and tailbone, that receiving gate of all life energies, you experience bringing what is in the dark inside of you into the light. And that's one of my passions in Spirit Gateways Institute work. You're deeply immersed in transforming what spiritual gifts and powers you have into the greater light so that you're manifesting and living your life from being connected. When I leave the light within inside of myself and I go into my head, which wasn't happening for a few decades, honestly, that pattern, that tendency that was part of my familial lineage of over excessive worry began in the last year with the external, heavy duty external overstimulation and the abuse that's happening in the world overall, and the confusion that has been happening of many people choosing a path and supporting a path that comes from their own inner confusion, undealt with anger, condoning outer violence. That's confusion. The stream of pure consciousness is not confused. It is the source of clarity. So when you connect your mind into your solar plexus, into your lower belly and root center, then from there, receive that light from the earth. Receive the Divine Mother's clarity. And then you're receiving the Divine Feminine. So a lot of confusion comes from blocking out the wisdom, the directiveness of Divine Mother, the source of the light of your Kundalini, that life force energy of deep intelligence that is always moving in your body, and it's very still in the center of your spine, and yet it expands and contracts in. And as your mind and the light in your body reconnect, and then you feel it through your feet and you touch into the earth, you feel that connection. And in the Spirit Gateways Be Light meditation, which is in all of the Spirit Gateways Institute courses and all of the Love to Be the movement, the Spirit Gateways dance, part of this transformational process of transforming your lower self and bringing in your higher self and becoming one in you. The doorways of clarity open. You find that you're living in a state of abundance and can draw to you what's clear. You can draw to you situations and people that choose to discover clarity with you because you're holding that pillar of clarity. You're rooted and grounded in that clarity. And that's one of the greatest gifts you can give to others at this time. If you love hearing about this and are interested more, I want to invite you to subscribe on the website, ayanalehi.com, and I give to you a 52-week video course called Living from Your Wild Heart, and also a PDF that has the source codes in there. It's called Be the Humanity Blueprint Introduction. And it's a good way to find out more about this work. It's about reunion in you, and the reunion being the entry, the portal into living as the full light that you are for these times of moving from darkness into light. Thanks for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I love sharing this with you and invite you to come truly check out my website and see the different programs and trainings that are there. And I wish you a wonderful week. And until next time, this is Ayana Lehi.